When I was a little girl, I wanted to grow up and be President of the United States, a heart surgeon like my father, a firefighter, and a ballerina. That is the beauty of childhood. Everything is a wide open possibility. I had two parents who, in my eyes, could do and did everything with grace and ease. And I was never told, no, that's a boy's thing. You can't do that. Or that's too difficult. You can't do that. So I went after what I wanted without a second thought. But growing up teaches you to word no. Growing up also teaches you about choices and priorities and the significance of time and schedule. College made me focus my dreams on one choice. Is that a bad thing? Probably not, because there's only so much time for classes and for studying, and there really is only so much money for tuition. And truthfully, each of us has our strengths and our weaknesses that push and pull us towards some things and away from others. My first big choice was to major in chemistry because I wanted to go to medical school and become a heart surgeon like my dad. I wanted to help people, to change and impact lives, and being like my dad seemed like the best way to do it. So I made my choice and I set my course. And then life happened. Each of us has moments in life that we will never forget. Moments that last only a few minutes, or experiences that last a few days, or if we're lucky, a few months, or even a few years. I will never forget the days that stretched between May 15th and June 15th of 2012. In 32 days, I lost my job that I loved and a career that defined me. I had major surgery and spent 2 days in cardiac ICU. I filed for bankruptcy, and I lost my apartment. Have you ever felt trapped in an instant that just couldn't go by quickly enough? And all you wanted was to go back to a moment that raced by in a flash? May 15th to June 15th, 2012 was a train wreck of those incidents, piled up one on top of the other, and while wading through it, there was a part of me that felt like I was never going to see the end. Throughout my adult life, I've had a lot of those months, like those 32 days in 2012. And to be honest, I just had another one, except it was compacted into 3 hellacious days. I was hired to start working as a nanny for 2 different families, and I was supposed to start on Monday the 19th of January. Here in Vegas. On Monday, I learned that both of these jobs are scams. And because I trusted these families, I am now battling with the bank to replace all the money that was pulled out of my account. I'm dealing with police indifference, and I'm trying to deal with the Attorney General, the IC3, the FBI, a couple other organizations, and the Postal Inspector. It's also very hard to find the energy to fight when you have kidney stones and an unexplained vitamin deficiency. That I found out on Wednesday. So what do? The easy response is to turn on the world and to see the people in it through a very black light. Or is that the easy response? Anger, hate, and revenge are very expensive emotions. And in the end, the person hurt the most is the one nurturing those expensive feelings, not the ones at whom the poison is aimed. So what do? In September of 2012, I came back to Carmel to be a bridesmaid in a lifelong friend's wedding. I spent the week at my dad's house, celebrating my friend's marriage and connecting with old friends. And I also played a little game. One day, I sat down with a piece of paper and wrote a list of all the things I wanted to do when I grew up. No editing, no filtering, no rules, no can'ts allowed. Just a list of all the things that I wanted to do and accomplish in my life. I gave myself 1 hour to complete the list, and then I folded it up and I put it in my journal. The next day, I sat down with a second piece of paper, and I wrote down a list of all my skills and accomplishments. No editing, no filtering, no poo-pooing, no censoring, no self-deprecating. Just a list of everything that I had accomplished and all of my skills that I had acquired in almost 4 decades of living. I gave myself an hour to complete the list, and I folded it up and I put it in my journal. On the third day, I sat down with both lists. I was trying to figure out how to move forward without starting completely over. And as the third list took shape, my 5-year-old self came dancing back out of the page. President of the United States, heart surgeon like my dad, firefighter, and a ballerina. I don't have the guts to be a ballerina. And at this age, I'm a little old to be choosing a career as a firefighter. But that doesn't mean I can't date one. Being a heart surgeon, the cost and the timing of medical school feels a little out of my reach. And I know that I'm an intelligent woman, but I know the academic demands because I was a chemistry major. Plus, that grueling 6 to 8 clinical and academic course, I'm not really ready for that at this point. At least President of the United States. And as long as the skeletons stay firmly in my closet, I'm not ruling that out. When I was 5 years old, I knew that I wanted to lead the world, save the world, heal the world, and be an artist living fully in the world. My original dreams haven't worked out so far. My dream to be a heart surgeon like my dad was refocused on becoming a certified athletic trainer. And for better or worse, that dream seems to have come to an end.
Oh, no.
My career, my home, my security, my identity, and my connection to myself. A month after my friend's wedding, I moved back to Carmel into my dad's house. I had short-term goals, I had long-term goals, and I made plans. Most of all, I wanted time to heal and reconnect and rebuild. But mostly, I knew that my dad's basement was safe, and it is really hard to fall off the floor when you already feel like you've 2012. I made a commitment. You know those throwaway conversations that we all have every single day with people? How are you? I'm fine. How are you? I'm fine. When in reality, you're not fine. You're actually bursting at the seams, or you're sick, or you're scared, or you're tired, or you are overjoyed. But you're not going to say that to anybody because they're halfway down the hall, or they never actually looked into your eyes when you asked the question, and they asked the question. In October of 2012, I stopped saying I'm fine. I did not turn every "how are you" into "oh my God" pity party conversation, but I did take the time to look into the eyes of every person who asked me "how are you?" And I gave them a simple, honest answer, and an amazing thing happened. People looked back into my eyes and answered honestly back when I asked them, and those throwaway exchanges turned into real conversations that lasted minutes and sometimes hours. And they often ended in a hug. People saw me, and I saw them, and I made new friends. I found Toastmasters. I met a woman who traded me private Pilates lessons for an opportunity to coach her through building a new fitness business for her. I met a couple in Carmel who was in town planning their wedding, and after a couple of hours of talking to them about all the options for them in Monterey, they invited me to come with them to see Mandy Patinkin in concert in Carmel. And for the first time in my life, I finally fell in love. I grew up in a family that has placed a high value on quality over quantity and experience over material possessions, but I still love and cling to my stuff. There have not been a lot of months since June of 2012 when I have had an income that's exceeded $250. I've had to make a lot of choices. I've had to learn the difference between need and want. Everything I own fit into a car and 4 boxes. I've also had a lot of free time since June of 2012, and I've had a lot of time to reconnect to myself. Myself as an adult, and that 5-year-old little girl who wanted to be President of the United States, a heart surgeon, a firefighter, and a ballerina. What I can tell you is, we're never too old to give up on dreams. Creating them, rewriting them, and building on them. Successful dreams are what keeps life vibrant and exciting. But it's hard work, and it's not easy work. Throughout the creation process, the revisions, the difference between your needs and your wants. And most importantly, you need to nurture the connection with yourself. Please, keep dreaming. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.